G'day friends, welcome to today's video. I'm sure by the title you have already figured out what the product reveal is, but just in case you missed it, they are super deluxe coloring cards. So at the moment I've got 5 designs. They are 5 by 7 inches, and you might be wondering why I've got 3 pictures or 3 options on the screen, and that's just exactly what they are. They are paper type options. This is what I mean about deluxe. Excuse me already, I feel myself going on an infomercial style rant, and I obviously don't need any encouragement to talk about coloring in and how much I love it and what a huge part of my life it is. So this is already going to be ultra, so just bear with me for a second, please. But we've got 3 paper types. I've got a hot press watercolor, I've got a cold press watercolor, and I've got a craft cardstock. Now I'm going to go into so much detail about how I like to use them. These are some samples I've just been playing around with and some different coloring styles that I've been experimenting with, maybe what I want to show you, because I will color one of each type of the paper on video for you. So this video I'm going to do the cold press, and then the next video I will be doing the hot press, and the next video I will do the craft cardstock, just so I can talk more about it and let you in on some facts and info. So this is the hot press. It is hot press, so it's smooth, 200 GSM, made in Italy, soy chic, and it is acid free, which is always a good thing. It just means it's going to last a lot longer. It's not going to break down. The paper's not going to deteriorate and discolor on you over time, provided you use, archival quality materials as well. It's a whole thing. You won't need to worry about that. But Canton cold press, I've got the 300 GSM, so super thick and durable. It is cold press, so it's very textured. I find this like medium textured, to be honest. It's not as super textured as other cold press watercolor papers. But that's that one. It's also acid free. And the craft cardstock, which is Recollections brand. I've done a ton of craft cardstocks, and honestly I haven't found notable differences between them, so I just made sure this was durable enough to work with our mediums, and was also acid and lignin free, so that it would be just as archival as the other paper qualities. So now that I've sourced all of the papers and I figured out how to do it all, I can finally bring it to you. Ironically, this was something I wanted to do when I first started making products, was coloring sheets, because I always talked about how my gran and I would color all the time. I'm going to talk about that later anyway, but I spilt a whole jar of paint water on this. This has got all kinds of mixed media on it. I didn't let it dry. I tried to put the heat tool on it and flatten it out with my fingers, and I put a wrinkle in the paper. So that's the hot press. I guess I just wanted to show you that because I can say until I'm blue in the face that it stands up to a lot of wet media. If you dunk it in water and then try to smooth it back out, you're going to have a problem. Obviously, if you put way too much water on anything, you're going to start compromising the structure of the paper, the substrate. So, I have really pushed these to their paces, but a whole jar of paint water and some careless trying to dry it, you will get warping and buckling. So just wanted to put that out there, because I don't need anyone sending me an email saying I dropped my painting in the bathtub and it buckled. You said it wouldn't. Here's my watercolor palettes. Mungyo, Daniel Smith watercolor palette, and designs by Rachel Beth. Now with all of these beautiful half pans in front of me, I only ended up using 3, which is just so like me, to get all of it out, and I don't need half of it. I used a blue, yellow, and a pink. The opera pink, let me just go on a quick rant. It's obviously really fun. I hate how fugitive it is. I have had a little opera pink. I did some opera pink on something that I had up on my mood board, and it faded so quickly. And I didn't get much sunlight in the other office. I get a lot of sunlight in this one, so I think, it's kind of hands off the opera pink from now on if I want anything to last. Obviously I always take photos and I always do scans, so I've got the artwork forever, but it's always sad to see like an actual piece kind of fade like that quickly. I don't care if it fades 100 years from now, because I'm not going to be around to see it, but I do care that if it fades within my lifetime. So just a rant about opera pink. The other colors, look, I love these because they're all cool tones, and for some weird reason the yellow doesn't blend with the blue to make a green. So all I'm getting here in this mix and the blend and the pooling is pinks, purples, blues, and yellows, which this exact color palette I've used before in a video. This is what I like to call my rainbow paddle pop. summer palette. I just love it. It's super whimsical, and honestly, if you've ever been to Australia and you've had a rainbow paddle pop, or if you are an Aussie and you've had one, does this not look like rainbow paddle pop to you? So this is the custom blend that I've decided to name Rainbow Paddle Pop. I love it. So what I've done is just use the heat tool in between, layering lots of layers of watercolor. This was just to get a really fun looking textured background. I've really this is the Canson cold press watercolor. Sorry if I didn't mention that before. This video I will be showing the watercolor, the cold press watercolor version. The next video is the hot press, and the video after that is the craft. Just going to show you, the coloring style that I use and some of the ways I like to work with it. This is a very, very simple thing to do, just to have a really pooled and all the blossoming and the blooming of the watercolor in the background, just with a very simple 3-color palette. I'm using these designs by Rachel Beth. Love, love, love the copper candle. If there is one metallic pan that you need, it's the copper candle. I'm not sponsored. I wish I was, because I've said it so many times, but honestly, I got this from Mindy Lacefield when I did her Goody Gumdrops class, and I'd never heard of designs by Rachel Beth. She's a little independent business, and I checked her out on Instagram. And she's got an Etsy store, and she's always trying to do as many restocks as she can, because her stuff goes pretty quickly, and I know why. It's just, they're handmade watercolors, and they're so different to work with than factory made. So I would encourage you, if you're curious, to just invest a few dollars. Get the copper candles one if you can, because it's honestly just the best thing to play with. I use it all the time when I want a metallic accent, and it's so easy to re-wet. We're not here for that. We're not here for the actual watercolor. We're here for the coloring. So this is the cold press version. I'm super obsessed with it. If you've watched my channel for any period of time and you used to watch my journal flips, you'll know that coloring is a big thing for me, because my gran and I used to do it together, and she always wanted me to make a coloring book. But before I did that, I really wanted to bring out something that I wasn't seeing a lot of. There's coloring books everywhere, and they're honestly they're so cheap and so easy to get access to, and there are so many, but there wasn't anything that was super deluxe feeling to me, something that you could watercolor and actually want to maybe frame afterwards, something that I was even interested in. I didn't want the Zentangling. I wanted finished pieces. I wanted cute things. I wanted swatch dolls. I wanted art journal style things. I wanted to play with, faces and just whimsical things, anything that I would typically do in an art journal. I wanted to make this super deluxe kind of coloring experience first, and then worry about doing a coloring book later. So this is in much, how do I say this properly? Sorry, it gets me a little bit choked up. This is a bit of an homage to my gran and all of the fun we ever had in our lives coloring together. And this is the most deluxe version I could think up to start with. So if you want to cut them up, trim them, put them in a frame, if you want to put them in a journal, if you want to make them tip-ins, if you want to write on the back and make them postcards, I think I've got a little short clip for that too. Honestly, they're just for coloring in. Whatever you do after that is up to you. I'm just super happy. I'm showing you that this is where this came from. All of these illustrations have been done specifically for the coloring cards. Anyway, I better stop talking, because I've got 2 other videos I need to fill with me talking. So this is the cold press version. I love, love, love the cold press. It's got a great tooth for picking up pencil texture as well, so your mixed media really does look lovely on this. So I will be back with you tomorrow talking about the hot press version, and until then, enjoy some lovely close-ups. Thank you for joining me for my new product reveal. Oh, I never say this, and I always forget to, which is weird because I love to plug my own store, so it just makes sense I'd plug my own YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Click the like button if you like anything at all about the video or what you see, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click the notification bell, and that just means I'll pop up to annoy you a couple of times a week with my voice, my stories, and my art. Thank you.